The Q Radio Pets Corner.
With Brandy Dog Food, because they're 100% family. You know you're giving them the best.
Q Radio. Q Radio. Welcome with me, Sharon Jennings. Coming up, we get practical advice about keeping your furry four-legged friends safe and comfortable when travelling in a car. But first, were you one of the millions of people who last night watched the last episode of Supervet, a programme that's been gripping the nation with the extraordinary lengths that this veterinary practice will go to save the lives of animals? Well, I caught up with the main man of the programme, Noel Fitzpatrick, better known as Supervet, and I started by asking him what motivated him to make the series.
I wanted to make a program about unconditional love. You know, I wanted to make a program about the emotional journey. I just felt that I held in my hands in every consult the responsibility for that and the trust that people put in you. And it's extraordinary, you know, that people's souls lay exposed. And we have domesticated animals, but they have become our companions, an inexorable part of our society. And my belief is if we look after that little bit of the universe well, then the world will be a better place. I think the resonance of the program with the public right now is that everybody, if you show them all the stars in heaven, can't say they're not beautiful. Everybody, if you show them that love, they can't say that's not a beautiful thing. It's not the very, very best thing about humanity. It's not the very best thing about the human soul, the human spirit. And every day in the looking after of that, I feel like I'm the guardian angel of unconditional love. That sounds really weird, but it's true. I genuinely feel that. I feel touched by the intense emotional bubble that exists in that moment, which happens to be disguised as a veterinary consultation, but it's much bigger than that, and that's what we set out to make. We set out to make a program about redemption, about love, about the yearning of mankind for connection in a materialistic world that's quite divorced from actually what matters.
You said at one point, I don't see the difference between saving an animal's life and saving a human's life.
I think that people can misinterpret that. Remember, my job and my vocation is to look after my bit of the universe, and when I save an animal's life, when I look after an animal's life, that is all I can do. It's all I've signed up for. It's all I ever will do. I don't have to save a human every day. I have to save an animal every day, and that's what I rejoice in. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. They assume I can do my job. They just need to know I'll hold their hand and care. For a moment in time in that bit of the universe, share the very essence of love and life with those people, you know. For me, it's all about the animal. Sometimes you have to ask them to let go, you know. They want to hold on for themselves, and it's selfish. They need to let go and let the animal pass away peacefully. But it's in those moments, you know, that you pick yourself up and say, well, what is your ethical and moral line in the sand? And I will never do something just because I can do it. It needs to be because it should be done and it's the right thing to do. And sometimes you have to have that discussion with the guardians of that animal and say to them, look, it's just not morally right. Usually, most people care enough to let go or just to give pills until the end of the dog's life. And it's not all about surgery, you know.
Absolutely. Well, Noel Fitzpatrick, otherwise known as Supervet, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Pets Corner.
With Brandy Dog Food.
Thursday's pet trivia. Did you know dogs can vary in size from a hulking 10-stone Great Dane to a teeny tiny Chihuahua? Though amazingly, no matter the size, all dogs display similar behaviours and habits. For more facts, features and competitions, why not like Brandy Dog Food on Facebook at facebook.com/Brandy Dog Food.
Pets Corner.
Now, there's been lots of bank holidays recently, and we've been lucky with the weather as well, which means we want to get out and about and probably want to take our four-legged friends with us, which obviously means a car journey. And joining me is Pamela Graham, who's veterinary nursing team leader at the PDSA. You've got lots of practical advice for anyone thinking about travelling for any kind of time with their dog or cat in the car.
The main thing is to have them properly restrained, in seatbelts so they're secure when you're travelling them.
And I suppose a lot of people don't secure their animals, Pamela, do they, in the car?
Surprisingly, yes, and you do see a lot of injuries related to that. Animals do like to be secure. They like to know that they're comfortable in their own surroundings.
And it's very easy to get these little harnesses that you just connect to the seatbelts, isn't it?
Yes, they're very easy to fit. They're very similar to the harnesses you would take them out for wee walks in, and most of them are sort of dual purpose that way as well, and they're very, very safe and very comfortable for them. A wee short walk before any journey is good. It takes that little initial burst of energy off, and certainly any sort of length of drive, you let them out, relieve themselves and get a drink of fresh water.
It's like all of us, Pamela, isn't it? We all need a toilet stop and to stretch our legs.
Oh, definitely makes a big difference to them and us.
Thank you very much. That's very good practical advice. Coming up next week, week, we get very good advice on what you need to think about if your animal is going to stay in kennels.
The Q Radio Pets Corner.
With Brandy Dog Food, because they're 100% family. You know you're giving them the best.